Good morning, everyone. Let's take a moment and breathe in and now ask yourself, am I happy today? If your answer isn't a strong yes, you're not alone. In the chaos of deadlines, worries, and the never-ending to-do lists, happiness can sometimes feel like a faraway dream. But here's the good news. You don't have to wait for happiness. You can choose it every single day. Let's break the myth right now. Happiness is not a destination, it's a daily practice. It's not something we find after we reach a goal, buy a new gadget, or get the perfect job. It's something we build with small intentional actions every day. So how do we do it? First, gratitude. This one's a game changer. When you start each day recognizing what you're thankful for, whether it's your health, your friends, or even your morning coffee, you train your brain to see the good. Second, connect with others. Real happiness often comes from relationships. A smile, a kind word, a deep conversation, they're powerful. Invest time in people who lift you up. Third, move your body. Science doesn't lie, exercise boosts mood. You don't have to run marathons. A walk in the park or dancing in your room counts. Fourth, live in the moment. So many of us are either stressing about the future or replaying the past. Try mindfulness. Just be present, even if it's while washing dishes or enjoying a sunset. Fifth, help someone else. Acts of kindness not only help others, but they also give you a joy that's deep and lasting. Help a stranger. Compliment a coworker. Call your grandma. 6, protect your peace. Say no to things that drain you. Say yes to rest, boundaries, and anything that feeds your soul. 7th, laugh more. Watch something funny, hang out with someone goofy, or just learn to laugh at yourself. Laughter is like free medicine. And finally, be kind to yourself. You're doing your best. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. That inner voice, make it your biggest cheerleader. Happiness isn't about perfection, it's about presence, about finding joy in the ordinary, and about choosing to see the light even when it feels cloudy. So today and every day, remind yourself, you deserve to be happy and you have the power to make it happen. So many of us fall into the trap of thinking, I'll be happy when I graduate, when I get that promotion, when I lose weight, when I find the right person, when I finally take that vacation. The problem is that kind of happiness is always on hold. It becomes a moving target, something we chase but never quite catch. The truth is, happiness isn't some final prize waiting for us at the end of a long journey. It's not locked behind accomplishments or hidden in some future event. It's available to us right here, right now, in the present moment. Happiness is not about having a perfect life. It's about how we choose to see and experience the life we already have. Choosing happiness doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It means finding reasons to smile in the middle of chaos. It means learning how to respond with peace even when life throws challenges your way. It's an attitude, a mindset, and most importantly, a practice. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't just do it once and call it done forever. You do it every day, maybe twice a day, because you know it keeps your teeth healthy. The same goes for happiness. You don't just feel happy and hope it sticks. You work at it, you choose it. You build it into your routines, your thoughts, your conversations, and your reactions. And it doesn't take grand gestures. It's in the little moments, choosing to see the good, choosing to be grateful, choosing to smile even when the day starts off rough. It's turning up the volume on what brings you joy and turning down the noise of comparison, doubt, and negativity. So the first step in being happy every day is understanding that it's not something that happens to you. It's something you create, not once but over and over again, through the habits you build and the mindset you choose. When you treat happiness as a practice instead of a prize, it becomes part of who you are, not just a feeling but a way of living. Gratitude might sound like a simple concept, just say thank you, right? But in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools you can use to change the way you experience life. Practicing gratitude doesn't just make you feel good temporarily. It actually rewires your brain over time to see the good more easily and more often. In today's world, it's incredibly easy to focus on what's missing. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us we need more success, more stuff, more status, more followers, more everything. And the more we chase, the more we feel like we're falling short. Gratitude flips that script. It's the practice of looking at what you already have and recognizing its value. When you consciously take time every day to notice and appreciate what's going right, your entire perspective shifts. Suddenly that cup of coffee becomes a comforting ritual, not just a caffeine fix. That text from a friend becomes a reminder that you're cared for. That quiet morning becomes a blessing instead of a routine. And it's not just about the big wins. Gratitude thrives in the little things. The way the sunlight filters through the curtains, the smile from a stranger, the fact that you woke up today with another chance to try again. When you start to notice and name these moments, they multiply. Your brain starts scanning for good instead of danger or lack. One powerful way to make this a habit is to keep a gratitude journal. Each morning or evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be deep or profound, just real. Over time, you'll find yourself naturally focusing more on the positive throughout your day because your brain is being trained to look for it. Another way is to express gratitude out loud. Tell someone you appreciate them. Thank your coworker for their help. Text a friend to say how much they mean to you. When you give gratitude a voice, it not only strengthens your relationships but also amplifies your own sense of joy. Gratitude doesn't erase life's challenges, but it gives you a stronger, more resilient mindset to face them. It reminds you that even in the middle of stress or struggle, there's still beauty, there's still hope, and there's still something to smile about. In essence, gratitude brings you back to what matters. It anchors you in the now, highlights the good, and gently teaches you that happiness isn't about having everything. It's about noticing the gifts already in front of you. Human beings are social by nature. We're wired for connection, for community, for companionship. No matter how independent or introverted we might be, we all crave meaningful relationships. And when it comes to happiness, the people around us play a massive role. In fact, research consistently shows that strong, positive relationships are one of the most reliable predictors of long-term happiness. Yet, in our busy modern lives, it's easy to let our connections slip through the cracks. Work, school, stress, screens, they all compete for our time and attention. But if we're not careful, we can find ourselves feeling isolated, even when surrounded by people. That's why nurturing your relationships isn't just nice, it's essential. To nurture means to care for, to invest in, to grow. It means being intentional about how we interact with the people in our lives. And it starts with presence, not just being around people physically, but really being there, listening when someone speaks, putting away the phone during a conversation, asking questions and truly caring about the answers. When you spend time with uplifting people, those who make you feel seen, heard, and valued, you start to absorb that energy. Their positivity becomes contagious. You feel lighter, more hopeful, more alive. These are the people who celebrate your wins, support you during setbacks, and remind you of your worth when you forget it yourself. And it's not just about receiving that kind of energy, it's also about giving it. Be someone who uplifts others. Be the friend who checks in. Be the sibling who says, "I love you." Be the partner who listens without judgment. These small, consistent actions build trust, intimacy, and joy in any relationship. Sometimes nurturing your relationships also means letting go. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay forever. Some people drain your energy, manipulate your emotions, or bring negativity into your space. And part of caring for your emotional well-being is learning when to set boundaries or step away. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely want the best for you isn't selfish, it's healthy. It also helps to make time for your connections. Call your parents, plan a walk with a friend, have dinner without distractions, send that message you've been meaning to send. These moments might seem small, but over time they build the foundation for a strong and supportive social circle. In the end, happiness grows in connection. It's built in laughter shared over lunch, in hugs that last a little longer, in deep talks at midnight, and in the quiet comfort of simply knowing you're not alone. When you nurture your relationships, you're not just building bonds, you're building a life filled with meaning, support, and joy. It's no secret that our bodies and minds are deeply interconnected. We often think of happiness as something we feel emotionally or mentally, but the truth is, our physical state plays a huge role in how we experience joy and contentment. One of the simplest and most effective ways to improve our mood, boost our energy, and promote a positive mindset is through movement. When we move our bodies, we're doing more than just exercising muscles. We're activating complex systems in our brain that help us feel better. For example, physical activity triggers the release of endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals. These endorphins promote a sense of euphoria and well-being, often referred to as the runner's high, but you don't need to run marathons to experience the benefits. Even moderate activity like walking, dancing, or stretching can have a profound impact on how you feel. But the physical benefits don't stop at mood enhancement. Regular movement has a direct impact on your energy levels and overall vitality. Ever notice how, on days when you're feeling sluggish or low, just moving around a little bit can make a world of difference? It's because movement gets your blood flowing, your heart pumping, and your circulation moving, which boosts the oxygen supply to your cells and helps you feel more awake and alive. It's a natural pick-me-up, often more effective than a cup of coffee. For many of us, sitting at desks for hours or lying on the couch can lead to a state of physical inertia. When our bodies remain stationary for too long, we begin to feel stiff, tired, and drained. This can create a negative feedback loop, where physical discomfort or fatigue leads to a more sedentary lifestyle, which in turn worsens our mood and decreases our energy. The key here is to break that cycle by incorporating small, regular movements into your day. You don't need to hit the gym for hours every day to benefit. In fact, consistency is far more important than intensity. Whether it's a short walk around the block, stretching while watching TV, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or practicing yoga in the morning, every bit of movement counts. The goal isn't perfection, it's finding ways to move that feel good for you. Sometimes it's about finding what you love, dancing in your living room, going for a hike, or even just doing a quick 10-minute stretch to loosen up. For many, starting a new physical activity can feel intimidating, especially if you're not used to it. But that's okay. The first step is simply getting started. You don't need to worry about being perfect or looking a certain way. Focus on how movement makes you feel, not on how it looks. And don't be afraid to start small. Whether it's a short walk, a couple of yoga poses, or a few minutes of stretching, the important thing is to make it a habit. Movement also serves as an incredible stress reliever. When life gets overwhelming, your body tends to tense up, your shoulders get tight, your back aches, and your mind races. Physical activity helps to release that tension. For example, a brisk walk or a few minutes of dancing can help release pent-up stress and leave you feeling more grounded, calm, and clear-headed. Moreover, physical activity doesn't just benefit your body today, it has long-term effects too. Over time, regular movement helps improve your cardiovascular health, strengthens muscles, enhances flexibility, and supports healthy sleep patterns. And guess what? All of these things contribute to your overall happiness and well-being. Finally, moving your body is an incredible form of self-care. It's a way of showing your body love and respect, acknowledging that you deserve to feel good physically and mentally. It's about taking the time to honor your health and recognizing that your physical state directly impacts how you experience your life. In summary, moving your body isn't just about getting fit. It's about feeling good, staying energized, managing stress, and promoting a positive outlook on life. Whether it's through intense workouts or gentle stretches, movement is an essential tool in creating and maintaining a happy, healthy lifestyle. One of the greatest obstacles to happiness is the tendency to live either in the past or the future. We're constantly replaying past mistakes or anxieties, or we're fixated on what's coming next, be it work deadlines, upcoming events, or future goals. But here's the truth. The only time we truly have is now. The past is gone, and the future is unknown. The present moment is all we can truly experience, and yet so many of us spend most of our time distracted, missing out on the richness of the here and now. When we talk about living in the moment, we're referring to mindfulness, the practice of fully engaging with and appreciating the present experience without judgment or distraction. It's about focusing on the sights, sounds, and sensations around you, and becoming deeply aware of what's happening in your body and mind at any given moment. When you practice mindfulness, you stop worrying about what you should have done or what might happen tomorrow. Instead, you fully experience what's happening right in front of you. For instance, imagine you're eating a meal. How often do we eat while scrolling through our phones, watching TV, or thinking about what's next on our agenda? When we eat mindlessly, we miss the opportunity to truly savor the food, the flavors, the textures, and even the act of nourishing our bodies. Now imagine sitting down and eating slowly, paying full attention to the meal. Not only will the food taste better, but the act of eating will feel more fulfilling and satisfying. Living in the moment doesn't just apply to eating, it applies to everything, from the smallest interactions to the most mundane tasks. Whether you're walking, talking to a friend, or doing laundry, being present in these moments can completely shift your experience. When you're fully engaged in the moment, you stop worrying about things beyond your control, and you allow yourself to enjoy life as it unfolds. There's also a deep sense of peace that comes from practicing mindfulness. By tuning into the present, you learn to quiet the noise in your mind, the constant stream of thoughts, worries, and judgments that often pull us away from the moment. Mindfulness teaches us how to observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. Instead of reacting to every feeling or thought that arises, we learn to acknowledge them and let them pass without attaching any emotional charge. This creates space for calm and clarity in our minds. Many people find that mindfulness practices like meditation are especially helpful in training themselves to live in the moment. But mindfulness isn't limited to formal meditation sessions. It can be practiced anytime, anywhere. You can practice mindfulness while brushing your teeth, walking your dog, or sitting in traffic. It's about shifting your focus to the present moment and noticing what's happening right now. Living in the moment also involves letting go of attachment to outcomes. So often, we place conditions on our happiness. I'll be happy when I reach this goal, or I'll be happy when things calm down. But the truth is, happiness is not dependent on future achievements. It's about appreciating where you are, right now. The more we let go of the need for everything to go exactly as planned, the more we can find joy in the unexpected twists and turns of life. Furthermore, being present helps us connect more deeply with the people around us. When we are truly present with others, we listen better, engage more meaningfully, and create stronger, more authentic relationships. Imagine having a conversation where you're not thinking about your response or checking your phone halfway through. Instead, you're fully listening, deeply interested in what the other person is saying, and responding from a place of genuine connection. Those are the moments that create lasting bonds and meaningful memories. Living in the moment also encourages self-compassion. When we let go of the pressure to always be perfect or constantly perform at our best, we allow ourselves the grace to simply be. We stop judging ourselves for our flaws or mistakes, and instead we accept ourselves as we are right here, right now. This acceptance leads to a much more peaceful, contented way of living. In short, living in the moment isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about embracing life as it is, without constantly wishing for something else. It's about finding joy in the simple things, the way the sun feels on your skin, the sound of laughter, the warmth of a hug. These are the moments that make up our lives, and the more we learn to live in them, the more we can experience true happiness. At the core of happiness lies a simple truth. Happiness multiplies when shared. It's easy to get caught up in our own lives, wrapped up in our daily struggles, ambitions, and desires. But what many people don't realize is that the key to a truly fulfilling life often lies in how we treat others. It's in the little acts of kindness we offer, the moments where we put someone else's happiness, comfort, or needs before our own. It's in the connections we create through compassion and care. Doing kind things for others isn't just about grand gestures or making huge sacrifices. It's about the everyday actions that reflect our willingness to be of service to others. Whether it's offering a compliment, helping a colleague with a task, holding the door open for a stranger, or simply listening when someone needs to talk, these small acts have an incredibly powerful impact. They not only make someone else's day better, but they also have the potential to brighten our own day too. Psychologically speaking, when we do something kind for others, it activates the reward centers in our own brains. The act of helping or giving triggers the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, also known as the love hormone, which gives us a sense of happiness, connection, and satisfaction. It's as if the brain rewards us for doing good. This creates a feedback loop. The more kindness you give, the more happiness you receive in return. You may find that doing kind things for others feels rewarding in ways you never anticipated, and it often leads to greater fulfillment than personal achievements alone. Kindness also has a contagious effect. When you help someone or show them kindness, you're not only improving their day, but you're also setting an example. It's like lighting a candle. Your small act of kindness can inspire others to do the same. Imagine if everyone took a moment every day to do something kind for someone else. It would create a ripple effect of goodwill that could transform communities, workplaces, and even entire societies. But kindness is not just about what we do, it's also about how we make others feel. Think about the people who have made you feel seen, heard, and valued. A simple word of encouragement, a thoughtful gesture, or just a few minutes of someone's undivided attention can leave a lasting impact. The kindness we offer others can help heal emotional wounds, ease anxieties, and provide a sense of belonging. It's especially important in moments of vulnerability or distress. Sometimes just knowing that someone cares can make all the difference in someone's life. Kindness also strengthens relationships, whether with friends, family, coworkers, or even strangers. When you show up for others in meaningful ways, you build trust and deepen bonds. You create a foundation of mutual respect and appreciation. And in relationships, kindness is an ongoing exchange. What you give, you also receive. It encourages openness, communication, and a sense of togetherness. The more you nurture your relationships with kindness, the more they grow, flourish, and thrive. Furthermore, practicing kindness is a powerful tool for combating loneliness. Many people experience feelings of isolation or disconnection, especially in today's fast-paced digital world. But acts of kindness, no matter how small, serve as reminders that we're all part of something bigger. Every act of kindness, from a smile to a helping hand, reinforces the idea that we are all interconnected. This sense of interconnectedness is crucial for building a sense of community, which in turn can help reduce feelings of loneliness and promote a greater sense of well-being. Moreover, kindness doesn't need to be limited to people we know or are close to. Often some of the most profound acts of kindness happen with strangers. A random act of kindness, a compliment to a passerby, paying for someone's coffee, helping someone carry their groceries, can have an unexpectedly powerful effect. These small gestures not only brighten someone's day, but also remind us that the world isn't as cold and indifferent as we sometimes think. In fact, kindness can be a form of hope, a reminder that no matter how difficult life can get, there's always the potential for love and compassion to shine through. And don't forget, doing kind things for others also includes being kind to yourself. Often we're so focused on taking care of others that we forget to show ourselves the same compassion and care. Practicing self-kindness means allowing yourself to make mistakes, treating yourself with patience and understanding, and giving yourself credit for the things you're doing right. When you nurture your own well-being, you're better equipped to share your kindness and positivity with others. Sometimes kindness is also about being there for someone without any expectation of reward. It's about the genuine desire to make someone's life easier, brighter, or happier. When you help others without expecting anything in return, you create a sense of fulfillment that no material possession can provide. This form of unconditional kindness is a reflection of pure generosity, a willingness to give without strings attached, and in return receiving a sense of joy that is intrinsic, not tied to any outcome. At the end of the day, doing kind things for others not only makes the world a better place, but also enhances our own sense of purpose. When we contribute to the well-being of others, we feel connected to something greater than ourselves. It reminds us that we all have the ability to make a difference, no matter how small the action may seem. In giving we receive, and in helping others find joy, we often find a deeper joy within ourselves. In a world that's constantly pulling us in a million different directions, one of the most important yet often overlooked practices for maintaining happiness is protecting your peace. With the rise of digital distractions, work pressures, personal responsibilities, and social obligations, it's all too easy to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and disconnected from what truly matters. But here's the reality: your mental, emotional, and physical well-being is your responsibility. Protecting your inner peace is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for living a fulfilling life. At the heart of protecting your peace lies the practice of setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut people out or isolate ourselves. Rather, they are guidelines that help us maintain balance in our relationships and protect our emotional and mental health. They are the rules we create for how we will allow others to treat us and what we are willing to accept in our lives. When we set healthy boundaries, we teach others how to treat us and protect ourselves from undue stress, conflict, and emotional exhaustion. The challenge, however, is that boundaries can feel difficult to set, especially if you've been accustomed to putting others' needs before your own. It can be hard to say no when someone asks for your time or favors. But remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. In fact, it's often a sign of self-respect and emotional intelligence. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care. It simply means you understand your limits and respect your own needs. Think about the areas of your life where you feel drained or depleted. Is it a demanding work schedule that leaves you feeling constantly exhausted? Is it a friend or family member who consistently asks for your time but doesn't offer support in return? Or perhaps it's the constant barrage of notifications, emails, and messages that pull you away from meaningful moments. These are the areas where boundaries need to be implemented. For instance, if work is taking up too much of your time and energy, consider setting clear boundaries around when you are available for work-related matters. Don't be afraid to step away from your email, set office hours, or even implement technology-free time in your day to focus on personal or family activities. Similarly, if a friend or loved one is consistently overstepping your boundaries, it's essential to communicate your needs clearly. This might involve politely but firmly telling them that you need time to yourself, or you need a break from certain types of conversations or activities. By setting these boundaries, you protect your energy and your mental health. Another crucial aspect of protecting your peace is learning to guard your mental space. In today's world, we're constantly being exposed to news, social media, and opinions from all sides. While staying informed is important, we must be careful not to let the negativity, fear, or stress of the outside world consume us. Curate your environment intentionally. This means unfollowing toxic accounts on social media, limiting exposure to distressing news, and surrounding yourself with positivity whenever possible. Consider filling your social media feed with accounts that uplift, inspire, and promote well-being. Follow people, pages, and communities that encourage growth, mindfulness, and kindness. Your online environment plays a significant role in your emotional state, so protecting your peace means carefully choosing the digital spaces you inhabit. Additionally, taking control of your time and energy is an essential part of protecting your peace. In a world that glorifies busyness, it's easy to fall into the trap of overcommitting. The fear of missing out, FOMO, or the pressure to be constantly productive can lead to burnout. But the reality is, you don't have to do it all. It's okay to say no to invitations, events, or activities that drain you or don't align with your values. Saying no is not an indication that you're unkind or uninterested. It's a declaration that your time and energy are precious. Protect your peace by prioritizing what truly matters to you and what brings you joy, and saying no to the things that don't. One of the most effective ways to protect your peace is by learning emotional detachment, not in the sense of being cold or indifferent, but in the sense of not taking on the emotional baggage of others or letting external circumstances dictate your emotional state. It's about recognizing that you can't control other people's actions or the events that happen in the world, but you can control how you respond to them. If someone is angry, rude, or negative, it's important to remember that their emotions are not your responsibility. You don't need to absorb their negativity. This is where emotional boundaries come into play. You can empathize, but you don't have to internalize. Letting go of other people's drama, judgments, and negative energy is crucial to protecting your inner peace. Mindfulness and meditation are also powerful tools for protecting your peace. Mindfulness is about bringing your focus to the present moment without judgment. It's about letting go of what happened earlier and not worrying about what's coming next. Through mindfulness, we can create mental space, which helps to reduce stress and anxiety. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, and yoga can also support this process by calming the mind, improving focus, and fostering a deep sense of relaxation and peace. Another key aspect of protecting your peace is learning the art of forgiveness. Holding on to resentment, grudges, or past hurts can weigh heavily on your mind and spirit. It can rob you of your peace and make you feel perpetually stuck. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning bad behavior or forgetting the hurt. It means releasing the emotional hold that past wounds have over you. By letting go of anger and resentment, you free yourself from emotional burdens and allow space for peace to enter your life. Lastly, self-care is an essential part of protecting your peace. Taking care of your body, mind, and spirit is crucial for maintaining inner calm. Whether it's taking a relaxing bath, engaging in a favorite hobby, reading a book, or simply taking time for quiet reflection, self-care allows you to recharge and restore your energy. It helps you become more resilient to life's stresses and more able to protect your peace in the face of challenges. In summary, protecting your peace is an ongoing practice that requires conscious effort. It involves setting boundaries, curating your environment, practicing mindfulness, and learning to let go of things that no longer serve you. It means taking charge of your own well-being and realizing that you are in control of your inner world. By actively choosing to protect your peace, you create a solid foundation of emotional resilience that allows you to face life's challenges with calm, clarity, and a sense of joy. When we talk about being kind to others, it often feels intuitive. We understand the value of showing love, patience, and understanding to the people around us. However, when it comes to ourselves, many of us are not as generous. In fact, it's common for people to be their own harshest critics. We hold ourselves to high standards, constantly strive for perfection, and often find ourselves disappointed when we fall short. But here's an essential truth. Being kind to yourself is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate happiness. At its core, self-kindness is about treating yourself with the same level of care, compassion, and understanding that you would offer to a friend or loved one. It's about recognizing that you too deserve love and respect, regardless of your mistakes, flaws, or imperfections. In many ways, being kind to yourself is the foundation for developing a healthy, positive relationship with who you are. Without it, it's easy to fall into cycles of self-doubt, insecurity, and anxiety. But with self-compassion, you unlock a deeper sense of peace and confidence. One of the primary ways to be kind to yourself is through positive self-talk. We all have an inner dialogue that runs constantly, but for many, that dialogue is far from uplifting. It's often filled with self-criticism, doubt, and negative judgments. How often do we say things to ourselves that we would never say to a friend? Phrases like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I'm a failure," are damaging and unproductive. Instead, practicing self-kindness means choosing to speak to yourself in a supportive, encouraging way. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and try to replace those thoughts with affirmations or words of kindness. For example, "I'm doing my best and that's enough," or "I may not be perfect, but I'm constantly growing and improving." This shift in perspective can dramatically alter how you feel about yourself and your life. Another important aspect of being kind to yourself is giving yourself grace when you make mistakes. It's easy to feel like failure is a reflection of your worth, but mistakes are a natural part of the human experience. They're not an indication of your inadequacy, rather they're opportunities for growth. When you slip up or don't achieve something you set out to do, it's essential to remember that you are allowed to be imperfect. No one is flawless, and it's okay to stumble along the way. Self-compassion involves forgiving yourself for your missteps and not letting them define who you are. It's about acknowledging your shortcomings without judgment and recognizing that growth comes from learning, not perfection. In addition to being kind with your thoughts, being kind to yourself also means prioritizing your well-being. This can take many forms, from physical self-care, like getting enough sleep, eating nourishing food, and exercising, to emotional self-care, such as setting aside time for relaxation, reflection, and hobbies that bring you joy. Often we push ourselves too hard, neglecting our own needs in favor of work or other obligations. But the truth is, you cannot pour from an empty cup. When you take the time to care for yourself, you have more to give to others and to the world around you. Regularly checking in with yourself to ensure that your basic needs are being met is a form of self-kindness that is essential for maintaining mental, emotional, and physical health. Another way to be kind to yourself is by embracing self-acceptance. Many people struggle with accepting themselves as they are, particularly when they feel they don't meet societal standards of beauty, success, or achievement. However, true happiness comes from learning to love and accept yourself, flaws and all. Self-acceptance isn't about complacency or settling for less. It's about recognizing your inherent value and understanding that you are worthy of love and respect simply because you exist. Embracing yourself as you are, without constantly comparing yourself to others, allows you to experience greater inner peace. You start to recognize that you are enough, just as you are, and you don't need to measure up to anyone else's standards to feel whole. Being kind to yourself also involves letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism can be paralyzing, as it creates an unattainable standard that can lead to frustration and burnout. When you try to be perfect in everything, you set yourself up for disappointment. Being kind to yourself means acknowledging that it's okay not to be perfect. Progress is more important than perfection. In fact, imperfections are often what make us human, relatable, and authentic. When you accept your imperfections, you free yourself from the pressure to constantly be better and start appreciating the person you already are. You can strive for growth and improvement without the need to reach some unattainable ideal. Additionally, prioritizing rest and relaxation is a vital form of self-kindness. Many people today are so caught up in the hustle culture that they feel guilty about taking time off or relaxing. However, rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Your body and mind need time to recharge, so you can show up as your best self in all areas of life. Whether it's taking a nap, having a lazy day, or simply disconnecting from work for an hour, rest is a crucial part of maintaining balance. It's important to recognize that taking care of your own needs doesn't make you selfish. Rather, it allows you to be more present, focused, and energized when you are with others or working toward your goals. Another aspect of being kind to yourself is setting healthy boundaries. Often we find ourselves overextended or overwhelmed because we struggle to say no. Whether it's taking on too many responsibilities, agreeing to social commitments we're not comfortable with, or letting others take more than their fair share of our time and energy, we can easily fall into the trap of people pleasing. However, being kind to yourself means setting limits on what you're willing to accept and learning to say no when something doesn't align with your values or well-being. Establishing boundaries isn't about shutting others out. It's about protecting your peace and ensuring that you're not sacrificing your mental health for the sake of others. Finally, being kind to yourself also involves celebrating your wins, no matter how small they may seem. It's easy to focus on what you haven't accomplished or what went wrong, but self-kindness requires acknowledging and celebrating your achievements. Whether it's finishing a project, mastering a new skill, or simply getting through a challenging day, take a moment to recognize your efforts. Celebrate your progress, not just the end results. By doing so, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and deserving of success and happiness. In conclusion, being kind to yourself is a transformative practice that requires conscious effort and patience. It involves shifting your mindset, embracing your imperfections, taking care of your physical and emotional needs, and forgiving yourself for past mistakes. When you treat yourself with kindness and compassion, you build a foundation of self-love that enhances every aspect of your life. You deserve to be treated with the same love, understanding, and care that you show to others. By making self-kindness a priority, you unlock the ability to live a more joyful, fulfilling, and peaceful life. In conclusion, being kind to yourself is not just a practice, it's a vital component of living a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. By embracing self-compassion, nurturing your well-being, and accepting yourself as you are, you create a foundation of inner peace and confidence that radiates into every aspect of your life. Remember, you are worthy of kindness, and the more you offer yourself the love and care you deserve, the more you can share that positivity with the world around you. Self-kindness is not a destination but a journey, one that leads to deeper self-love, greater happiness, and a more harmonious existence. So take a moment each day to check in with yourself, to offer compassion and to acknowledge the incredible person you are. You deserve it.